What do you want?
Everything.
Hi guys, and welcome to Lisa Loves. I'm here today to kick off my reviews for Wildeye. I've actually done a couple in the past historically for Geek Legion of Doom. That would be Darkness Reigns and Inhumanity. I will put links for both below in the description. But this, Dead House, is the first one that I'm going to do since receiving the package from Wildeye last week. Obviously I'd like to thank Wildeye for sending these to me to review, especially all the way in Ireland, so over the moon about that. And this is the one that I like the look of the most, so this is what we got stuck into first. The cover alone of that, folks, is awesome. Absolutely amazing. Was the cover the best thing about the movie? Let's see. This was written by Andrea Cavaletto, directed by Brini Amerigos. I hope I'm pronouncing these correctly. I apologise if I'm not. We've 5 main actors in this, so I'll give them to you. That's Danny Cutler, Alex Lucchesi, Alex Southern, Kate Davis-Speak and David White. So this movie is actually 2 genres in, not 2 genres, 2 subgenres in one. We've got a home invasion / zombie movie. I know that sounds a little bit odd, but yes, that's what we've got. The movie starts off with 3 criminals called, and get this guys, Testamento. This is the guy's name. I don't know if that's common in Italy, but Testamento, Nibbio and Brett. Nibbio is Brett's older brother. They're both Cockney, from London, very stereotypical Ray Winston types. If you've seen Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, that sort of guy. The other guy's Italian, Testamento. Nibbio and Testamento are 2 really nasty pieces of work. The younger brother, Brett, seems to be a bit reluctant. His main job in all the home invasions is to video everything that goes on. So I'm not going to give spoilers in this, folks, so don't worry about that. I am just going to discuss what you know from the trailer and from the back of the DVD. I've seen a lot of people review this and it did pique my interest, I have to be honest. The movie starts off with a home invasion. It's just to give you an example of what these guys, just to set you up with an idea as to what these guys are like before we get into the main family story. It was pretty nasty. Testamento is very hands-on. They seem to be breaking into people's house, and to me personally it seemed more about the torture and rape and just putting the family through the most amount of hassle, and hassle's the wrong word, it's not strong enough clearly, just putting them through the most amount of pain that they could. The burglary seems to be incidental almost. So that happens, it's rather horrible. I had nothing but hatred for both Testamento and Nibbio in these scenes. You could say, did that mean they played the characters really well, that evoked that feeling in you? I really struggle with this, guys, because the script in this movie was deplorable. Really, really bad. Some of the lines it made you laugh. I don't think it was meant to, but it did. I'm going to give you one example. Most of the bad lines were delivered by Testamento, as you would expect. But Nibbio, while torturing people, some of the things he would come out with, and I think mainly for the shock value, use of a lot of words that do make you go, oh, just distasteful words. You get used to that in horror, but when it's like, I suppose it's like watching someone in conversation and when you have to say F every sentence, it's like, you're just overusing the word fuck, guys. Just, really, it's not realistic. This is how the dialogue from Nibbio seemed to me. In one line he says to his younger brother who's videoing, "You're going to make a great director one day. I think that Gus Van Sant is going to want to deep throat your cock." What? Would you say that to each other, guys? The dialogue didn't seem believable, but let's get on to the synopsis. They go to a house with a couple with 2 children, a teenage boy, a younger boy. The Pontecorvos, they're called, Elena and John. It hints around John doing something as a profession that his wife and son aren't totally on board with. It's very secretive, but we don't know what that is. Cue breaking. Same guys, woman subjected to the same sort of nasty, you know, there's the rape and all that stuff that happens in it's a given for home invasions. If there is a movie, that's probably going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it's going to be very heavily hinted at. But this is when the movie changes totally. We go from the home invasion, find that what the dad in this family is actually doing involves experimenting on humans, and they're in his basement. This is where the zombie thing comes in. I know this is in the trailer. At the beginning of this movie, we've actually got a very short clip of what's going on, the zombies, so that's kind of told to us right at the beginning of the story. Just let's say people meet a very apt end in this. Now, I'm not going to go into any more storyline because I don't want to. You've just got the home invasion, the nastiness, the bad dialogue, the rape, all of this. Cue zombies. Right, I'm not going to say anything else about the plot as such. I don't want to give anything else away, but what did I think of this? I thought the dialogue, the script was atrocious. I thought the acting was very much mismatched. Some characters were very believable. The lady that played Ellen Pontecorvo, is that her name? Pontecorvo, Elena, she was believable. Her husband was the complete opposite. He was like overacted everything, like it was Amateur Dramatics Week or something. The son had a very small part, but what part he did have was believable. The three crooks, the younger of the crooks, the young lad, I think it was called Brett, he was perfectly believable, but his role was lesser than the other two. Excuse me, Testamento was like way over the top. To me, Testamento wanted to be the kind of role that Tom Savini played in From Dusk Till Dawn. That's how it looks like they were marketing it for, that tough Italian, you know, even though, you know, get what I mean, in that sort of role. But he just came off as a funny stereotype that I would imagine a lot of Italian people would be like, what the fuck is this? But the movie is a bit all over the place. The acting is, but you expect that in horror, guys. You're not going to get, the thing with small independent horror is you're not going to get the likes of The Nun, which is getting really bad reviews incidentally. You're not going to get what a big budget that gets millions thrown at it. It's not going to be to that level. Some horrors I've watched have been so much worse than this. I just want to give it a fair, accurate review of this one. What I'm going to say, I've left the positives to last. The makeup in this I felt was excellent. The special effects I loved. The zombies looked fantastic. The zombie attacks and the carnage caused by the zombies was fantastic. I kind of liked the sort of character development that takes place with one of the people as we get down. I'm not going to say what, but there is a bit of a surprise when you see it. If you've seen it, you may find it surprising that I say I like that, but that was out of left field for me. I did not expect that, so I liked that aspect of things. I just wish this movie had have invested a little bit more with the script and the storyline, because I feel that the effects and the attacks of the zombies, it had a lot more to offer. It would have been a much better story. Having read reviews about this, it said that a lot of people were giving up after 8 to 10 minutes. And I can see why people are switching off early if they're just watching it for entertainment purposes, because it's going to be like, oh, this is crap, switch off. Myself, I watch a movie to the end because I like to review them, so I get to see that the movie improved, I get to see how good the effects actually were, I get to see little glimmers of hope from different performances. But this movie started poorly, it started weakly. It was going for the shock factor, it was going for the, oh, these are real evil men, listen to what they're saying, look at what they're doing. And the performance wasn't backing that up. I'm going to just mention a Serbian film. People know what I thought of that, but for everything I thought about it, it was a very well made film, it was a very well acted film, it was shocking, and the shock actually did get to you. It did it right. This film I felt wanted to shock you, but you were too busy like going oh about the acting to sufficiently feel the shock they wanted you to feel. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, this one, I'm not going to say it's awful, it wasn't the best movie I've ever seen, but for a small independent movie, what they did with those effects was really good. So for that reason, I'm going to give Dead House a 6 out of 10, which to me is quite a good solid score. If it wasn't for those effects, it would have come in much lower down in the scale. So of you guys that do Wildeye reviews, what did you think to this one? Would you agree or disagree with what I'm saying? And does it sound like something you fancy? If you're a zombie fan, check this out. It is well worth watching, for the second half of the movie at least. So, hope you enjoyed that, and speak to you on the next Wildeye Releasing review. Over and out from Lisa Lives.